So when I spoke during last year's stewardship campaign, it was days after the presidential election, and I said that investing in our church would be a form of resistance to the growing threats to individual liberty. Now, I don't want to say that everything that's happened since then is entirely our fault, but we did come up short of our stewardship goal last year. I'm just saying. Now, realistically, the future of American democracy does not rest entirely on your generosity. But we unquestionably have a role to play and an important one. Our collective actions, our worship, our community engagement, our programs are indeed changing lives and can help light a brighter path forward. And your gifts make that possible. Of course, the essential elements of the life of our church will not go away because of one year's missed pledge goal. We have good financial reserves. But some elements will undoubtedly be diminished if we cannot regularly keep up with rising expenses. But here's the good news. We are only asking you to do a little bit more than what you're already doing. And in a minute, I'll tell you exactly what that means. But bear with me for a couple minutes here for some background. In 2026, our 2026 budgeted expenses are 15% higher than they were in 2019 before inflation really ramped up. Now, does anyone want to guess what the total inflation rate since 2019 is? And before you answer, you will be contractually obligated, if you get this right, to join the finance team. Well, I'll tell you, it is 29%. The cost of living, the cost of doing everyday things has gone up 29%, but our expenses have gone up 15%. And with that, I think I have scientifically proven that every dollar you give to the church is worth 14% more than if you spent it on milk. We can probably debate the mathematical rigor of that statement, but there is one other unassailable conclusion, and that is that our lay leadership is committed to good financial stewardship. Take, for example, our finance team, and especially our assistant treasurer, John Tishy, who found a lower cost workers' compensation plan. And our trustees, led by Mark Turner, who negotiated new building insurance that will save us about $8,000 this year. Or the buildings and grounds team, which has taken on a number of repairs themselves and saved us thousands of dollars. Our church leadership has risen to the challenge in these difficult financial times. And together with your generosity, we've kept our light shining bright. We see that in our music program, which, as we just saw, brings joy to our gatherings and nourishes our souls. Music is a large area of expense, accounting for 12% of our budget. And I think nearly everyone believes that that investment in musicians and our choir is well worth it, which is something I learned when I suggested we could save some money by replacing them with AI bots. Did not go over. No one was into it. One thing I'm certain AI cannot do is maintain our building. For over 100 years, this place has been our partner in faith. But like all things physical, its value is entirely dependent on us. Maintenance and repairs, heating and cooling, insurance, gardening, cleaning, it all amounts to nearly 13% of our budget. Dollars that are both figuratively and literally essential for keeping our light shining. And your contributions make certain that that figurative light, our reflection of God's love, as Ellen said earlier, can reach places that may be darkened by poverty, neglect, or discrimination. In 2026, we will back our commitment to loving our neighbors in the world by giving over $40,000 to communities, families, and individuals who are in need. And we're also committed to taking care of our own people, our fantastic musicians and singers, our amazing administrator, Meg House, our dedicated youth staff, our longtime custodian, and of course, our Pastor Ellen. How we treat them reflects directly on us and our values. And so we pay them fairly, and we give them annual cost of living increases. Our ability to do that and to do all of these things I've talked about comes down to whether we will support it financially. And we are blessed that nearly every member of this congregation does give something. The question we are asking is, what value do you place on ensuring that the light of this congregation remains bright and reaches far? The practical answer to that question is that we need $297,000 in pledged donations. We will get there if everyone increases their 2025 pledge by just 4%. But of course, not everyone will be able to increase their giving. And so for those who are able, we ask that you consider giving a little bit more than 4% if you can. Meeting that goal will, unfortunately, not change the current course of our nation, but it will make an impact, ensuring that our community remains relevant and vibrant, and that together we can light the way. And it will also make sure that we don't have to replace Harold with ChatGPT. Thank you.